people of Reddit who want a lifetime supply of something. What was it and how long did it actually last? I know when I was a kid I want a lifetime supply of something. I want a lifetime supply of mental disorders. So let's jump right in. Story 1. I want a lifetime supply of Oreos. It was actually just one pallet full of Oreos. Probably would last a normal person their whole life. It was probably around 1,000 pounds of Oreos. I gave away so many Oreos. Having a party? I'll bring a bunch of Oreos. Break room needs snacks? Oreos. I ended up donating like 400 pounds of Oreos to a shelter too, just to get this pallet out of my garage. Just for kicks, I called to inquire if lifetime meant lifetime, and that I had finished off the pallet. They said the pallet would last a reasonable person their whole life, so that was a bummer. But I think that's typically how those things work. Story 2. When I was a kid 30 years ago, my dad said he'd won free pizza coupons, and he had a massive stack of these little business cards, each for a free large pizza. My dad said we had to be careful using them though, so we could only use them occasionally, and I remember my dad sometimes making me order the pizza, and answer the door to get said pizza, even though I was only, 9. Looking back, my dad worked for a commercial printing company and was not exactly an upstanding citizen. I'm pretty sure he didn't win those cards. Story 3. About 13 or 15 years ago when I was in college, Arby's ran a promotion where if you input the code on your receipt to the survey, you get a free junior roast beef sandwich. The thing was, when you went to get your free sandwich, they had to print out a promo receipt, which had another code on it. It was an infinite junior roast beef sandwich glitch. I ate hundreds of junior roast beef sandwiches that year. I'd just sit in the restaurant and input surveys 4 or 5 times for lunch and for dinner. It was glorious and deadly. Story 4. When I was a kid, I won a lifetime supply of meat from a large butcher shop in my hometown. My dad put my name in one day, and a few weeks later we got a call telling us we won a custom barbecue pit and a monthly supply of meat and supplies for life. We got the pit a few days later, and every month we'd get a foam ice chest of various beef cuts, sausages, and steaks, a couple dozen sodas, a bag of charcoal, lighter fluid, and another bag of whatever veggies they had around. We were really poor at the time, so this was exactly something that could help the family out in enormous ways. My dad would have a barbecue every weekend, sometimes several times a week. I remember sometimes afterward realizing that I hadn't felt hunger in days, or even weeks, and that was so unusual for me at the time. For years, we continued to get the monthly supply. There was even one point where the amount of meat and sodas just got doubled. We were having a hard time keeping up, frankly, but that's a good problem to have. I remember near the time I was going to high school, we got notified that the butcher shop got bought out by a larger national chain, and the parent company just wanted to cut us a check to end it all. We gladly accepted. The check was for like $10,000 or something, I think. By that time, my parents had gone to school and got their degrees and got better paying jobs, so the free supply of food was just bonus. Looking back, that win helped us out a lot when we were poor. I can imagine the savings my parents gained from not having to buy so much food, which was scarce as it was. We became happier and a little fatter as well. That's pretty awesome. You know, a lot of these times you wonder if, the person who wins the thing is someone who could really use it. I imagine that helped the parents go back to school as well because they weren't worried so much about getting food on the table. And I just think that's fantastic. I love stories like that. Story 5. 18 years ago, we won a lifetime of vet visits for my cat. They expected to give it to someone with an old pet, not a brand new kitten. The cat's still alive. The vet clinic was moved and has rebranded 4 or 5 times, but they're still honoring the award, although it only covers routine checkups. Treatments and operations still had to be covered by us. Story 6. Not one, but I bought a lifetime membership at one of my favorite nightclubs early in the pandemic. They released a limited amount of lifetime memberships for a pandemic fundraiser, and they went fast, and will likely never do something like that again, so it does feel a bit like I won. Came with free entry, +1, coat check, and 2 drink tickets at every event at the venue, even the sold-out ones, for life. Several years out, I've gotten more value than the cost. I'm still on the list for every event, and most of the staff there know me. But I also make sure I tip well on the drinks so that they know me well. I'll often just drop by for random events and artists that I've never heard of, or dip in for a half hour at a sold-out event with a $50 plus cover charge, just to say hello to some friends. I imagine someday the venue will close up shop and my lifetime membership will close with it, but for now, I'm enjoying the high life. Story 7. My grandparents were gifted a lifetime subscription to Reader's Digest as a wedding gift. They were offered that, or some other magazine that went out of business a decade later, so they made the right call. Being a frugal family, that subscription was utilized fully. After Grandma and Grandpa were done with each issue, it would be passed along to siblings and their kids with this little round-robin thing they did. They would share photos and updates of what everyone was up to, all passed along in a manila envelope, and when it came back to you, you removed your items and put new ones in. They had been together for 62 years when Grandpa died, but Reader's Digest honored the subscription an extra decade until Grandma passed. I forgot how much was paid for it, but I'm certain the gifter got their money's worth. Story 8. I won free full-body massages for life, which basically just translates to 2 massages a week. It was really good. I think I might have gotten addicted to them. I knew everyone who worked there, and I got to experiment with all of them to see which were the best. Ended up fluctuating between 3 different staff towards the end. They would even train new staff on me for free because I spent so much time over there. Those training massages never cost me anything either, or counted towards my 2 free massages a week limit. When the place closed down, I realized just how expensive massages were. I haven't had one in ages, and I miss them so bad. Story 9. As a consolation prize for losing on a TV game show, I was given a popcorn popper, a little girl's bicycle, and a lifetime supply of Dinty Moore beef stew. I gave the popcorn popper as a Christmas present and sold the bicycle. When the beef stew arrived, it was 1 case of 12 cans. After trying the first can, I realized that the other 11 would indeed last me a lifetime. Story 10. Ryanair, a European budget airline, awarded its millionth passenger free flights for life. After 9 years, they reneged on the deal, so she took them to court. The judge awarded her 60,000 euros to buy her own flights. Her legal costs were more than 3 times that, however, but Ryanair had to pay those as well. Given the relatively low cost of Ryanair flights, $60,000 probably buys her at least 6 flights a year for the next 50 years. Story 11. In elementary school, I got the option to choose a lifetime supply of chocolate milk or a cruise vacation. My parents chose the cruise vacation when I wanted to choose the chocolate milk instead. They ended up going without me, which hurt my feelings. I'm financially free now and travel every month, and whenever they ask me to bring them along, I always bring it up. This was all because my school had a milk program, where every lunch I would get a small carton of chocolate milk, and there was a prize if your milk carton mooed when opening it. Here's the milk carton for reference. Yo, I remember those! I never understood how the heck the thing could moo though. Like, wouldn't a speaker inside be a safety hazard or just get fried if it got jostled around in shipping? I always wanted to know how the heck it worked. Honestly, I'm probably gonna go look that up after this. Story 12. In the late 90s, a local bar ran a wet t-shirt contest where the girl who won would win a lifetime of free drinks at the bar. They also had cash prizes for 2nd and 3rd place. I don't remember how much, but it was a lot at the time. The result was a packed bar. Tons of girls entered and tons of guys spent money. My friend's girlfriend at the time, now his wife, won 1st place, and she was stoked. He was pretty pumped too, because free drinks for her meant free drinks for him. Within a couple weeks, the building was condemned and torn down. Turns out, the owners of the bar knew that the building was going to get condemned and just wanted to have one last party. It'd be nice to tell people, like, hey, we're closing, enjoy it for the week you have it. Almost makes you wish that the cash prize was for 1st place, but either way, story 13. When I was a kid, I won a contest online which included a lifetime supply of Hubba Bubba bubble tape. I don't remember the exact amount, but I think it was about a dozen boxes of gum. They also sent me a small boombox and a hockey jersey with the Hubba Bubba logo on it. I got sick of it pretty quick though, and the stuff had a shelf life. A friend and I wound up using it all for a school project where we had to make a model of the town from the book Outsiders. We made the entire model out of gum, and it was disgusting. Our jaws got pretty sore just from chewing all that gum, so we ended up dipping it in water instead. Our teacher docked us points for creativity, and 20 years later, I'm still a little bit mad about that. Those rolls were the best! God! But half the time, they were really hard, and the stuff was already expired when you bought it. But when you found a roll that wasn't hard as a rock, man, it was like finding Wonka's golden ticket. Story 14. Took my kids to a pizza buffet place where they received a free kids meal coupon for good grades. The cashier, however, mistakenly charged us for the meals. When the manager came to correct the transaction, I said he could just return the coupon and not worry about it. We'd use it some other time. Instead, he gave us an entire stack, about 50 coupons I'd say, all attached together like a checkbook. We got free kids' meals until they obviously reached the age limit. Story 15. My uncle gets free Ben & Jerry's for life. He's been friends with the actual Ben and Jerry since before they opened the first shop. He has a card that says free ice cream for life, and he can get pints or cones at any scoop shop, at least locally. He also gets decks of free pint coupons that he can use at grocery stores and gas stations. When Unilever bought them out, they tried to buy back all the free ice cream for life cards. I guess it was a fairly generous offer too, because my uncle is one of the only few that chose to keep the card. Honestly though, free ice cream for life, that's worth it. I mean, forget the money. The card probably already paid for whatever that amount of money was. I imagine 10 grand or something. But that card itself, I'm sure you can rack up 10 grand, more than 10 grand of ice cream pretty easily over the course of a lifetime. And if you ever have a pretty rough breakup or divorce, then you or your kid or whatever can, all the ice cream they want. Story 16. I won free groceries for life at my local grocery store in a raffle. They give me a digital $100 gift card once a month, which is wonderful. However, it doesn't even cover a week of groceries. It will end when the total given has reached $10,000. I've got about 4 grand left. So I looked this up, and for a very frugal person, that 10 grand could work. But with the average annual spending of a single person being around $3,500 per year, that 10K will end up lasting less than 3 years. Now listen, I know we've got some health crises going on. We just came out of a pretty substantial one, but how bad do these guys think it is? Alright, now we hop into the rapid fire segment, 4 stories too short to make a full entry out of, but too good to be left out. Let's hop right in. My stepdad won a lifetime supply of WD-40 in the 90s. They sent him 4 16-ounce cans. He died in 2019 and my mom still has 2 cans. My dad won a lifetime supply of cat food, but they delivered it all at once, and our cats didn't like the flavor, of course. So we donated it all to a local animal shelter, who were really happy with it. I won a lifetime supply of donuts, up to a dozen per day, at a local bakery, and it lasted 2 years until the original owners died and their a-hole son took over the business. My parents won a lifetime supply of toiletries, soap, toilet tissue, and some other stuff. Once per quarter, you mail in the coupon and they send you another quarter's worth of stuff. It's all institutional grade though, like what you'd expect prisoners to use. Lifetime supply of M&M candies. They sent 52 bags all at once. 1 free movie rental from Blockbuster every week, and, well, we all know what happened there. I know someone who won free gas for life in a contest many years ago. They get a $100 gift card every month. My mom almost ate the white M&M that they'd promoted like 25 years ago. If you find it, send it in. You get a lifetime supply of M&Ms. Man, as a car guy, that free gas for life, $100, that sounds real nice. I've got a buddy. He didn't exactly win a free lifetime whatever, but with his current job, he got a company vehicle and a company credit card that they said you can basically, unless you take a big road trip, put all of your gas costs on the car, just pay for it with a company card. If you're making a big trip somewhere, you're going camping for a long weekend or something, then pay for one fill up and then you pay it yourself when you come back. But still, Buddy's got a free car, and he's getting free gas to and from work, and to and from the ski hill, and to and from wherever he wants to go, basically, that isn't more than a, let's call it, 2-hour drive away. And it's a new car too. It's like a 2020 model. Not brand new, but that's still a pretty new car. I mean, I drive an 04 Subaru. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you all enjoyed. My name is ReddList. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Make sure to leave your story in the comments below, and I will see you next time.